Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit of Pluto. Transiting Pluto is square to the natal Sun. How transiting Pluto in a square with the natal Sun will behave depends on the position of the natal Sun. This transit may be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in aspect to your natal Sun. But the basics are as follows. This is a time of testing when you find yourself in battles pitting your will against others. Huge internal changes, intense efforts, constant commitment, compulsive and irrational drives and affirmation of your desires. In short, you are being tested for your strength and character. You will be initiated into the cathartic process of drawing out subconscious fears and desires, and you will test your strength and energy to make your way in the world. There will be power struggles and crises that test your strength and self-control, and it will seem to you that situations are beyond your control, and that they are preventing you from doing what you want. All this will characterize this period. This is a difficult time when you want to make many changes. The feeling of impatience and the desire to impose your wishes on others will make you experience moments where you feel powerless. When your ego is the Sun, which represents the sense of you, the sense of authority and power is attacked by Pluto by powerful authorities on the other side, authorities who will manipulate and discourage you, you will find yourself in trouble. Especially if you are unsure of your own identity or if you don't have a solid core or foundation. That is why now is the best time for internal reconstruction and awareness of the energies within you. Surrender and allow challenges to be catalysts for change, rather than clinging to life to avoid discomfort. Although this is an important period in your life, and if you do not allow yourself to change, you will be blocked in your attempts to move forward. Whether you are naturally aggressive or not, it is likely that you will try very hard to defend your principles and stand up for yourself. Either way, relationships and life become like a battlefield. Therefore, it is best to strengthen the uncontrollable need to reform your life and make a big change full of compromises. In this way, you will strongly appease the desire for greater personal strength, recognition, and creative expression. But don't forget to know who you are, stand up and be respected. Be aware of the power dynamics in your relationships, because otherwise you will be drawn into a battle of wills where you or the other person is trying to gain power over the other. If you're blocked in your attempts to move forward or resist transformation, it's usually because you won't accept no for an answer. Such persistence may ultimately allow you to triumph, although you will lose sight of other opportunities in your desire to prove yourself right. Therefore, it is important to strive for what is really important to you, not for ego satisfaction, but from the core of your being. Remaining loving, compromising and calm as much as possible will find that you have won the battle but lost the victory. We have already stated, the attacks of Pluto on the Sun give tendencies to be above others in order to achieve your personal goals. Even if you don't consider yourself aggressive and sensitive to the needs of others, you will still be so preoccupied with your own conflicts and ambitions that you will overlook the rights and concerns of others. This is undoubtedly the time to get rid of a habit deeply rooted in you and transform your life, because we have either a crisis or a breakdown. Pluto transforms your ego, identity, and life direction. Pluto challenges you to master your power. Pluto will be ruthless in its effect, which makes you ruthless in achieving your goals. If you have been too submissive in the past, it is good to learn to be ruthless. You will learn to stand up for yourself, but you also have to find a balance. Otherwise, you'll find every victory less than fulfilling. If you experience powers greater than yourself, powers that seek to dominate you, the struggle will go to extremes to assert your individuality. Pluto is like a harsh mentor, resisted by the ego self, which will try to avoid certain lessons. It will confront you again with what you tried to bury in the past. His intense desire to act and eliminate many old habits will make you do things that you clearly understand why you are doing them. The focus of your attention and care depends on your personal interests and motivations, that is, on the position of houses and signs. For some people, their career becomes an obsession. They work to the point of exhaustion and cannot take their mind off work. Tests represented by Pluto will bring various difficulties, including those with the authorities, disconnection, job loss, accusations, and attacks on your personal integrity and health problems. So being too ruthless when the going gets tough isn't always the best option. Once you gain more power, it may be best to let it go or compromise to achieve a win-win outcome. At best, this transit will force you to discover the inner strength within you to persevere resiliently in search of your main purpose in life. You'll thank Pluto for this in the end. So let's not forget the key theme for this transit is the likelihood of a fundamental change in you, especially if you've lost sight of your identity or if adjustments are needed to the purpose that guides you. However, you can resist the inexorable forces that can affect your life now, which can make this period difficult. The more you can accept that this is potentially the beginning of a new phase for you, the easier it is to admit that this is probably the end of something old or outdated. Although you are driven more by instinct than reason, a difficult personal relationship will become an overriding issue. This is the moment when you can finally decide whether to drastically improve the relationship or end the relationship if improvement is impossible, and if you are not willing to continue with greater commitments, you will seek the necessary changes with almost fanatical zeal. But although this is probably a busy phase of life, even stressful, looking back, you will see that it helped you understand yourself and what you want. The process of rebirth will give you a healthier ego, stronger willpower and self-confidence, allowing you to achieve your goals with a new sense of vitality and enthusiasm.